Good evening, everybody. The spring has sprung, the grass has riz. I wonder where you all are. You're here at this class tonight, and yes, romancing the soul. We're here for our next edition of our class this evening, and so without further distractions, interruptions, or any of that, we introduce you tonight again to Reverend Bob Trask. We need you to unmute. You're muted, Bob.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. So good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Great class. Good stuff going on. As we move toward the end of our book, Romancing the Soul, and we move farther into the depth of the philosophy, we also move deeper into the triangle. So more and more as the nights go by, we'll be working on the triangle, rather than other stuff. So let's start off tonight with a meditation, shall we? If you'll just go into your quiet place, just having your feet flat on the floor and your butt up against the back of the chair, relaxed, just relaxed. As you breathe in softly through your nose, and allow that breath to go into your lungs, and then the oxygen molecules from that breath go down through your venous and arterial system to every cell of your body. You can feel it at the tips of your toes. And you can feel it all the way up your body. So as that energy rises up from your feet, can you feel a warmth as in warm water rising, coming up your shins and your calves? And as it does so, it's relaxing and blessing and healing all of the tissues of your lower legs. And it continues to rise now up over your knees and the backs of your knees and up over your thighs. Relaxing and blessing and healing everything inside your calves, everything inside of your knees, everything inside of your thighs. And now, as that rises up, it comes to the first chakra, the chakra, a level of your pubic bone. And allow that to be relaxed. Allow that chakra, the energy of that area in your mind's eye, just let it be relaxed. It's okay. It's okay. And all of the areas beneath that chakra, in the genitals, on your lower abdomen, all the way to the spine, all are being relaxed and blessed and healed by the light that's rising in you as pure grace. And as that light continues to rise now up over your stomach, over your lower pelvis, up into a place halfway between your pubic bone and your navel, that's the next chakra. That's the next chakra. It's the chakra of balance. Let that relax. Breathing softly into that chakra. Breathing softly, gently. The sweet breath of God. And now that grace that's rising up around you and in you is rising up to a place halfway between that chakra and your heart. This is your power chakra. This is where you hold all of your nervous anxieties and stresses. Now let it go. Breathe gently in and out and let it go. It isn't important anymore. It doesn't matter. Let it go. And as you breathe in this chakra, you know that everything in this part of your body and everything from this part of your body all the way to your toes is being relaxed and blessed and healed. And now that warm grace continues to rise up around you and inside of you to your heart chakra. And all the way along, it's been healing and blessing and relaxing all of the tissues, the ligaments, tendons, organs, blood vessels, neurons, everything coming together and dancing in harmony. And now in your heart chakra, the place of compassion, the place of love, the place of creativity. This is a mind, you know. The heart is actually a mind, just like the brain has a mind, the heart has a mind. And you can allow now that grace to rise up until it gets to the top of your shoulders. And you know that everything then from your shoulders all the way to the tips of your toes is relaxed and blessed and healed. And the grace is flowing over your shoulders, down your arms, to the tips of your fingers. You can feel the vibration in your hands. The vibration of Shakti, the vibration of life, the vibration of grace, of the presence, the great presence. And now back up to your top of your shoulders. Let's allow that grace to continue to rise up to the middle of your throat. And there is the next chakra. As the heart is the chakra of creativity and of song and of speech, this chakra is the one that allows that to come out as a voice, expression. So allow this throat chakra and your whole throat and your neck and hold the lower part of your face and head to be relaxed and blessed and healed. And as that grace moves up now all around your face, so that all the small muscles of your face are relaxing, all around your teeth and your tongue, the back of your throat, the lower part of your brain and your brain stem, all the way up till you get to the center of your forehead where there's a chakra that we call the third eye. And allow that chakra to be open, breathing softly in and out of your third eye. Softly breathing. Softly. And another breath in, and when you let it go, go to the crown chakra at the very top of your head. This is the chakra that was open when you were an infant. It's called a soft spot. The bony plate hadn't closed there, and that chakra was open, and you were still connected. So be now in that crown chakra and let it be open again. And breathe through it. You can feel the welling up of the energy, the grace of your entire body, welling up, 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 and up through each chakra until it comes to this place in the center of the top of your head and goes right out the top of your head up into your higher mind. There you are in your higher mind. No thoughts, only awareness, only quiet observation. And if a thought should come to you, just bring it up to your higher mind and it'll dissolve. Breathing in and out gently in your higher mind. These chakras are very much like the steps of a ladder that you climb. And above the top of your head, the ladder goes on like a tree growing upward, upward, upward. You're not constrained to one place. You can go as high as you like. And as you go up higher and higher above the top of your head, allow yourself to also expand. To reach out, until this room is inside of you, and then this building is inside of you. And then the city of Vancouver or wherever you are is inside of you. And then the whole province or the state. And then the globe. And then the universe. And you are one with all. Drifting, so beautifully drifting on the open, on the wide open. And you are open and free. You are free. and your body is completely well. Your body is completely well now. You are love. You are joy. You are peace. You are loved. You are blessed. You are safe. And you are free. 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 After a while, the music will stop. And when it stops for good, come on back. And when you come back, see if you can come back staying in your higher mind. Even though your eyes will be open, see if you can stay in your higher mind. Take your time. So, my dears, welcome back. Welcome back. I was wondering if you were able to stay in your higher mind when you came back, or what that meditation trip was like for you. Would you mind just going into your reactions place at the bottom of your screen and put your hand up and let Joanne pick you up.
Got Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, am I unmuted?
You're good.
Oh, you know what, Bob? I want to thank you for that. That's probably the best meditation I have had with you. It was just, well, our tears were just rolling down my face. They were just, it was just absolutely beautiful. I could see every chakra coming up and in my, everywhere. Oh boy, that was
Oh,
absolutely stunning. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't worry about that dog. He's blessed.
Thank you. I know. Oh dear.
Thank you. Next. Rick, my bud.
Hey, Reverend Bob. Extraordinarily peaceful. Not in any sense a downer, but it's a feeling that I have an awareness of what's going on in life and in my life, and a peaceful feeling that it's all right. Everything is in its proper place. Peaceful.
Thank you, my brother. Victoria? You're muted, dear.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I get the message that the host is not allowing participants to. Okay. Yeah, I want to ditto what people just said. That was so beautiful. And the feeling was of great stillness and peace. And for me, I realized that I wanted to use the words what did I want to use? Greater awareness rather than higher mind.
Perfect. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just this, I always love your meditations, but like Nancy said, this one was really transporting. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Victoria.
We've got Barbara next. Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Oh, hi. I basically left the room when you were on a second chakra. I was thinking how to describe it. It will have to be the word stillness. There was nothing, no thing, no form in my mind. It was so quiet. It was just still. Nothing was moving. I even forgot for a moment to breathe. That's how. So it was an extraordinary, powerful for me. Once I let go of resisting and trying to figure it out, and I let go and surrender, the things have opened up completely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. See, the interesting thing about sharing is that there's two parts to sharing. One is that when we have an experience and we don't share it, then it's an incomplete experience. It only becomes an expansion within you when you share the experience. Until then, it's like undigested food. Unless you share your experience, it doesn't do any good. So that's why we share. That's one reason. The other reason why we share is that there are other people who can't quite put their words together to say what they feel. But when you say it, they say, yeah, that's right. Now I got it. That's what I was feeling. So that's why we share. Because to share, to say something about yourself in your experience gives the experience spiritual validity. So, any more sharing before we move on?
Bob, one of the beautiful things about your meditation is it elevates my vibration. It elevates my consciousness that, when we get up into the everyday experiences and what I call my own, personal story of what's gone on from the moment I woke up till I go to bed at night. Meditation allows me to just allow my mind to be open and receptive to God consciousness. And the more I do it, and particularly tonight, it was very powerful, it actually is allowing me to feel that divine consciousness even more in my daily life. It's like the practice, 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 which you talk about in your Trask triangle. Everything is about what we think about all day long, what we feel about all day long, and what our experience is in this consciousness. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Coming from you, that's high praise. Thank you. So in this chapter, we read about the chakras. And the thing that I found interesting back when I was studying and reading and talking to my dear friend Rick Robertson about brain sciences, I realized gradually that that when we evolved from kind of the lizard brains, as we evolved, as the brain evolved from the lizard brain very gradually and slowly over millions of years up into the limbic system, the chakras were simultaneously evolving up the body. And so that when the limbic system, that the brain that is the brain of passion and articulation and creativity, when that limbic system actually began to function well, was when the heart chakra was balanced with it. So, and then we go up into the more intellectual areas where we're looking at, the cerebral cortex and that higher brain, which is pretty much all intellectual, not totally, but pretty much all intellectual. And then above that, there's another brain very slowly forming, a new brain very slowly forming. And I guess that will have to do with our expansion up above the top of our heads into a higher spiritual realm, so that we can look forward then to a time maybe 1,000 years from now, if we keep our planet together long enough to be here, 1,000 years from now, when everybody will be in their higher mind or their highest mind, operating from that beautiful spiritual plateau and utilizing the body brain and the other body wisdoms or intelligences to function in this existence. At which point, if you remember the story of Pinocchio, at which point we stop being the puppet and become the boy. At which point we stop being the activated by a puppet master called the ego, and we become whole, perfect, and complete, and we become one with ourselves as eternal beings. So I'd like for you to share about your experiences of chakras, chakra number 1, chakra number 2, chakra number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and even number 8. But if you have any experiences of those chakras, we'd sure like to hear about that now. I can hear the wheels turning, 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 turning. You see, what happens with the chakras is that when, as an example of chakra blocking, when you grow up in a family that disdains sexuality and that puts you down for sexuality and that tells you that masturbation is some kind of a terrible sin, and if you do that you'll go to hell and burn forever and ever, and that premarital sex is wrong. And you get all of that stuff going on inside of you, and yet you have this great lust going on, this great lust for the sexual a union with someone. And so you know that you're wrong. You know that you're sinful. You know that you're a bad person because you have that going on. And so what happens is that you begin to hammer that lower chakra, and you begin to shut it down, and you begin to have a problem with that. And then later that shows up in your sexual life and in your opinion of yourself, in your self-worth, your self-confidence. And that's just the first chakra. That's just the first chakra. Keeps going up step by step. You can block any one of those chakras. And just because of what you're taught or how you see yourself or how your society around you is believing or behaving, it's, you know, there's a strong move aboard planet Earth right now for everybody to be in their intellectual minds. To get more education, learn more math, learn more science, do more articulation of the cosmos, and get all of that stuff all in your brain, and so you can talk about it and think about it and do all of these geometric drawings on great blackboards. What that has to do with life is zero, nothing. That's like learning to drive your car. It gets you from here to there, but other than that, it has no value. And learning that you are your brain is, pardon me, but it's somewhat of a mistake, because you're not your brain and you're not your mind. See, and I've said this before, but perhaps it deserves repeating, is that when you are in the great sea, when you are in the great sea of God, of presence, of mind, and you're there forever, you're there for eternity. You've always been there, you'll always be there. And it isn't like you're hanging out there, it's that's who you are. But you don't like leave this life and go back there and hang out for a few million years and then come back in a different body. Because there is no time. There aren't any 2 million years. Time doesn't exist except in the minds of those of us on planet Earth. Time does not exist. There's no such thing as time. Everything is now. Everything is here. So yes, when you pass out of this body, you don't go traveling across the river Styx back to a place. That doesn't happen. You're already in that place. You're already there. And our job in these programs at Unity of Vancouver is to know that we are there. Eckhart Tolle said, you have to die before you die. In other words, let go of all of this. I'm not saying commit suicide. I'm just saying let go of all of this. And I'm not saying disregard it or disrespect it or disvalue it or devalue it. I'm saying let go of it. Stop owning it like this is your life rope that you're hanging on to. In my Living Free, I talk about, and some of you've heard me say this before, you when you're born, it's like the delivery system for birth is that you walk out on a dock on a river. You walk out to the end of the dock and you see the river going by and you jump in and you're born. Now you're born. Now you're in the river of life. And the river sweeps you down, and it's kind of scary. And there was an old rowboat at one time tied up to this dock, and it's gone, but the rope is still trailing in the water. And as you go by the rope, you grab the rope and you hang on. And you're holding on to the rope, and you say, now I'm safe. And now I'm alive. And the water is hitting you in the face, and you're holding on and your arms are tired and your body's tired and you're not going anywhere and you're not doing anything, but you're in your comfort zone. This is my little comfort zone. Don't let me get out of my comfort zone. And my question to you is, when shall we let go of the rope? The rope of what we think are securities. Security is in floating free as you did in the meditation. That's security. Security is being in God, as God, one with God. That's security. Not when you die, baloney die. It's now, here. And so once you let go of the rope, then all of a sudden you and the river become one. The river's not flowing by you anymore and hammering at you because you're drifting right with the water. You don't notice the water's moving even. What's moving is the land, all the experiences, the beautiful sky, the thunderstorm, the lightning, the rapids, the salmon jumping, the children playing in a field, cows, sheep, eagles, people, bridges, experiences, other people coming by you and bumping into you and staying with you for part of a lifetime or for a whole lifetime and linking up and drifting together. And all of those experiences in the river, of the river, while you're going back home to the sea. And when you get back home to the sea, you're not the same person that jumped off the dock. When you get back to the sea, you've grown. The river has taught you. The river is called life. Life has taught you. You've grown, expanded. And now you're back in the sea. But in a true, and that's a metaphor, but in the true sense, once you leave this body, you are already somewhere else. Because since all time and space exist, all in one place at one time. If somebody says we're going to do a past life regression with you, I can tell you there isn't a past life because there isn't a past. All of them are going on at the same time. Everything that's happening is happening now. Everything in the future that's happening is happening now. Those of you that took my last course, you will remember a process that we had when we were working with the double split experiment, where an atom or the subatomic particles were going through by the decision that we made, whether they would be a particle or a wave, that would determine how they would go through the two slits and register on the back wall. We would make that decision. So it's just a wave going along here. And then I would say, I think it's a particle. And surely enough, it would be a particle. Or I would say, well, it's going to be a wave. And sure enough, it would be a wave. I can make that decision just by my observation. And they even put camera there and let the camera observe. And still it made the difference. The observation. Then they did something different. Then they put the monitor, the camera monitor, on the other side of the slits. Now, stay with me because this is a little bit technical, but just stay with me. So that when it came through, it was then a particle as it went through the slits, or it was a wave as it went through the slits. Then they had it observed after it went through the slits, and it changed its performance before it went through the slits. What I'm saying is that they proved that you could change the past. They proved that you could change the past. I'm not saying that you can go back and change something that happened in your life. Not yet. Maybe when we get a little bit more intellectually or spiritually wise. But at this point, we can't do that, obviously.
So Bob, sorry, Bob, we have two people wanted to say something. Did you want to continue?
Yes, by all means.
We've got Richard first and then Dee.
Yes, please, Richard.
Yeah.
Rick.
Thank you, Bob. I just wanted to say that this is a big reason why I'm here. And I feel like I'm here on a one-on-one tutorial with you, and you were talking right directly to me, right into here. And I'm getting I thank you for that. Now, you opened it with a query about how we handled or how we felt about the chakras. And frankly, I've always wrestled with the chakras. As you know, and some of the group knows, I'm a biologist, I'm a neurobiologist, and I've spent my life trying to figure things out. That's what I do. And thinking about the chakras, I tried to understand the chakras as through how the autonomic nervous system is organized, and there's a pelvic region and certainly the heart and all these things. And they never really made a lot of sense in my Western medical approach to things. But when I go inside and I think about it, when I'm willing to put aside that my Western biological bent, which is not easy for me to do, by the way, but when I can do that, then things make an intuitive sense that it's hard for me with my limited language skills to go into detail on how I would explain those. But when I'm here listening to you, thinking about things, feeling about things, and as a sidebar, you did a great summary of quantum theory a little while ago. So any people here in the group that want to understand quantum physics, that's a good starting point right there. Listen to your Reverend Bob. Anyway, I'm ranting now, and I just want to say that how much I appreciate being here, because it helps me view life in a different and I would say more accurate way. So thank you, Reverend Bob.
Rick, I'm so honored by you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have Dee up next, and then Ryan, and I think we go to breakout after that, Bob.
Yes, we
Hi, Bob. Hi, everybody.
Sunday.
So I have a little quick story, but a couple of years ago, I went through some personal trauma, and it was really important for me for it not to get locked in my body. So I found a guy that was doing a trauma release therapy, and it was so out there and so weird, and I was very skeptical. And this was a young guy who really didn't come from much of a spiritual background, more of a energy field body background, not really a spiritual background, but he had studied this, and he had done it because he'd had a lot of body trauma himself. And what it was this very specific series of exercises that your brain and your body really connect. So you get all these exercises, and then you lie on the floor and you do this certain movement, and your body starts to shake. And this treatment came up because they had noticed that children in very, very traumatic situations would shake. And the families that were holding the children would just be in their process. And what they found was it was a way that the children were not holding trauma in their body. So I don't know the details, but the people that designed this, found a way to get our bodies to shake. And so anybody I've even tried it on that's very skeptical, and it's just a series of movements, they're like, holy smokes, I actually shake. But how this pertains to the chakras is that when you're doing this therapy, first you can shake in certain areas, but there's areas that it stops and it gets stuck. So whether it's in your stomach or and then you have to open from there. So you can literally shake through your body, but it takes a minute to open it up. So it's something that when you were speaking, I thought, yes, the chakra world, and we all know it sort of from a spiritual, but actually from an energetic sense of how the body functions and trauma and the way your brain is. For me, it really made a lot of sense while I was in that therapy and could see where it was stuck and where I had to, the heart center or the throat center or wherever I was having, really a stuck emotion. And it was magnificent for me. And I felt like I didn't store as much trauma in my body, in my cells, as maybe I would have. So I just wanted to share that.
Gosh, thanks, Dee. Thanks for telling us that. That's great information. Thank you. We'll keep our eyes open for this process. Thank you.
It's actually Dr. Berselli, and it's called the TRE method, TRE. And
TRE method.
we should have him come to Unity sometime. He's great.
Let's do it.
I'm going to put Ryan up now.
Ryan, my brother,
Yeah.
hop in here.
Okay. So I just want to share a quick story from many years ago, a previous relationship I had, not my most recent one, but many years ago. And a lovely girl that I was learning kind of this path of spirituality. She was a very devout Baptist Christian and very much wouldn't want to hear the word chakra, let alone learn about it. But however, we were both very sensitive people. And she was a very talented musician and was very attuned to things. Anyway, she could see colors. When she closed her eyes, she would see colors. So one night I was lying beside her and I would just have some fun. So and she didn't really know about the chakra. So I put my hand on her, on her back. And I'd say, what color do you see? She'd say green, right? And then I'd put my hand on her throat. What color do you see? Blue. And I put my hand on her belly. What color do you see? Yellow. I'm like, I just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, if that's not proof right there, we went through all of them and we had a fun time. But even after that, she still didn't really want to believe it. And you're muted there, Bob.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go into breakout rooms, my dears. So I want you to be totally cognizant of the fact that we have only a certain amount of time and the question is pretty stimulating. So you can't get off into other stories. You got to stay on target and talk about what's on target. So maybe take 5 minutes each. And then at the end of that, the three of you have had 5 minutes, then start over again. So everybody gets equal time. Okay. Thank you. Is my brain mind listening to my body mind? And the body mind is the mind of all the chakras. And the body is a mind. The body has neurons, just like the brain. And so all of those neurons of your body are sending messages to your brain. But is the brain listening? That's the question.
Hey, Janet.
And I'll put you in a room. I've got to.
It's just because I have the slideshow up is the only thing. And if we go, it'll go away. So I don't know.
Yeah, the only problem is not everybody got the question, so I've got to go give it to them. Okay.
Mm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Matt, if you want to join us, you can do that right now.
Okay.
Number 7. I can't put you in. You have to. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll head in there now.
I'm so sorry, Donna. I didn't know you came in after we went to breakout room, so I apologize that you didn't get in a room tonight.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I'm glad you're here now.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yeah, we're all gonna mute now because Bob's gonna continue, but I'm glad you're here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to work.
So is everybody back, Janet?
Let's see. 6 seconds. We're all back now.
So when we're talking about is the brain mind listening to the body mind, you know that the brain has all these incredible number of synaptic gaps and neurons and dendrites and axons. And certainly as one of my students, you know that the brain itself, or that the heart itself, has 40,000 neurons with countless synaptic connections of its own, and that it sends more information to the brain than the brain does to the heart. And if you go beyond that, there's the gut mind. And the gut also has incredible number of neurons. And so the whole body has this neural system, this nervous system that is put together with neurons. And those neurons a neuron is just a name for a nerve cell. And they're all speaking to each other across these little gaps. There's these little gaps. They don't actually touch each other. They just come close together. And the energy of a thought or the energy of an impulse goes across from one to the other, almost like the spark in a spark plug. And it carries with it information so that the whole body flows in harmony. And so the body, the chakras, the body, the gut, the heart are all sending messages throughout the body, all over, constantly, and sending messages to the brain. What happens a lot of times when we get out of balance, when we lose our spiritual, physical combined balance, is that we get some static, some information from some of these neurons that's not real information. It's just static because there's injuries, there's disassociations, there's neuromuscular kinds of tensions going on. There may be some uptake of the transmitting fluids across the synaptic gap, that those are getting uptaken too soon. All kinds of things can go on. And what happens then is that you begin to have dis-ease in your body, dis-ease, disease. Now, I'm not here to tell you that all of the disease in your body is a result of you not having your chakras aligned or not having paid enough attention to all of the cells in your body. But I can tell you that a great deal of that is true, in that when you have a body, and the body is being controlled by the brain and the heart and the neuronal system throughout the body. And the neuronal system throughout the body communicating with the heart, communicating with the brain, communicating with the nutrition factors, the kidneys, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, everything all coming together, all of the alveoli in the lungs, all harmonizing, everything working together. Then that's one picture. When there's blockages in some place, and whether it's that the blood flow doesn't get through, or whether it's the nutritions that don't get through, or whether it's the oxygen that doesn't get through, or whether it's the spiritual being that isn't getting through, there's got to be upset. It all has to flow together, because everything in the world is spirit. You can make it scientific. Everything in the world is subatomic waves. I don't really care what we call it. It's all grace. It's all God. It doesn't really have there's no right name for any of this stuff. But when that's flowing through you, and it's flowing through you as grace, as waves, as particles, and it's flowing through you, and there's no blockages, then your body hums along in harmony. And you've got to be able to see pretty clearly that it's a little harder to get a deadly disease when your body's doing that than when you're not. And you, it's not always true, but I tell you that you can know a lot of people in your mind who got sick or really sick or got cancer or died of cancer, and you can look at that and say, yeah, you know what? She always kind of was shut down, or he was always sort of shut down. And like I said, it's not always true, because we come here to live our full lives, but our full lives don't mean from 1 to 90. Our full lives mean however long we live. That's our full life. That's that person's full life. So we're here to live however long we live, and there's no such thing as death. So even though we see it as a great horror on our side of the fence, it isn't a great horror at all. It's just part of nature. We just keep flowing on and flowing on. Any thoughts about that? Chicken. You chicken. Chicken to say so. Come on.
I have something to say.
I knew it.
You and me should go into business, because we should make a t-shirt that says just keep flowing on.
Let's do it, Dee.
We're gonna do t-shirts with Bobisms. Perfect. Keep on flowing on. Love it.
Incidentally, Mary was sitting behind you in church on Sunday, and she said, "Who's that lady with the gorgeous red hair?"
Oh, jeez. I always say it's a fine line from a witch to a princess.
Well, you're on the right side of the line, princess. Anyone else? So I'm going to talk a little bit about your homework. This week, when you do your homework, I want you to pay attention to the harmony of the chakras. Pay attention to the harmony of the chakras. Pay attention to them, honoring each of the chakras, honoring the harmony of the chakra, honoring each of them every day. So I'd like for you to just pay attention to each chakra in order as you go through your day. And I'm not asking you to do anything special. I'm not asking you to do any weird voodoo dance. I just want you to pay attention to each chakra several times a day and see if that doesn't make your body feel more harmonious and more balanced. And then read chapter 9. Now, Matthew very, very kindly brought the triangle for us tonight. So Matthew, can we take a look at that? I know it's out of order, but there. So what I want you to do is, now you all have this triangle. You've all got this triangle. So go get it and begin to live this triangle. Begin to live it, because what we're going to do is we're going to finish this series of 6 classes. Then we're going to take a 2-week break. Then we're going to come back and do the triangle again. Why would we do it again? Because all we have been able to do, and will have been able to do by the end of this 6 weeks, is skim across the surface. It is so much deeper. It is so much deeper. As I've said before, every part of this triangle has one purpose, and that's be, and that's to expand and to deepen your beingness. We came here on this planet to grow in wisdom and joy. What's the key word there? Grow. To grow in wisdom and joy. So we grow in wisdom and joy. Well, that means we expand. That means that the be part expands. So if you look at this triangle and you look down at the B and you say, yes, that's the most important part of the triangle to me. So I'm going to build more clarity by going into discovery out from B. I'm going to go from B up to discovery. What's my vision? What's my mission? Who's on my support team? What's my next step? Then I'm going to go up to do, dare, change to grow. I'm going to have two choices. As I had two choices down in B, one was discovery, the other was avoidance. I have to discover two choices up in do. One is anxiety, the other is risk. Why anxiety? Why risk? Because when it comes time to do, there's always fear. When it comes time to do, there's always fear. And in A Course in Miracles, it says that fear is the opposite of love, or that love is letting go of fear, and that those two are opposites. We'll get into that and explain how that really works very soon. But the fear that is around this triangle is centralized in do, and so you have to dare to grow. You have to take a risk. If you don't, the energy will eat you up and you go into anxiety. Can you see that anxiety line right there going out of the green do down into the inside of the triangle? But if you're willing to take a risk, then you go to this first step, which is I'm expanding my identity. Now go back over to B, all the way down to B, and you can see that what I'm doing is I'm expanding my beingness. So this whole triangle is about B. So I'm expanding my identity. How am I doing that? How am I going to expand my identity? I'm going to be focused on my vision, and I'm going to be working my mission. And because of that, I'm going to be contributing. And I'm going to tell you right now that there will be times when you might want to call me and say, it's not working for me. I feel dark. I feel crummy. I'm scared. I mean, things are not going well for me. And I'll say, where are you on the triangle? And almost always where you are on the triangle is over on the risk side, building courage, expanding your identity, focused on your vision, working your mission, contributing. That's not easy. This is not a piece of cake over here. You're kicking down the walls of your comfort zone. You're kicking down the walls of your identity. And then you go into have, which is where you celebrate yourself and you choose joy. Celebrate myself. I choose joy. I'm celebrating my win. Yes, I won. And then because I do that, I can go into self-love. I'm loved, I'm blessed, I'm safe, I'm free. Now I want to tell you something about this. When you come back to be, you must find yourself being a little bigger than you were before. I don't mean taller or more arrogant or more prideful, but feeling more confident in who you are, feeling stronger about who you are. If you come back to be and that does not happen, you didn't make the corner at have. You went into unworthiness, because you have to have worthiness to be able to expand yourself in the B corner of the triangle. You have to be worth it. You have to be worthy of being more. So if you come to be and you can't find that you've expanded at all, then you need to go back to have and accept yourself and own that win. You say, own what win? It didn't really work out. What didn't work out? What didn't work out? You jumped into clarity, you went into discovery, you created a vision, you created a mission, you said, who's on my support team? You put somebody on your support team, you took your next step, you went into to do, to change, to dare, to grow, you took a risk, you tried to expand your identity, you were focused on your vision, you were working your mission, you were contributing, and you came down there, and then you got disappointed? So if you had a little daughter or a little son, and you were teaching them how to ride a bicycle, and they rode part way around the yard and then fell over, you would say you failed? Or would you say you won? Come on, you won. Maybe you didn't do some glorious thing you expected, but you won. You won. And so you have to have that win. You have to have that courage. You have to have that clarity. You have to have that expanded identity. And then very calmly and very assuredly, you can say, I'm loved, I'm blessed, I'm safe, I'm free. And then feel better about yourself and be than you did when you were here last time. And then it'll be time to step up to the next vision. But remember this, please. Working the triangle is like eating a watermelon, a bite at a time. You don't eat the whole watermelon at once. You get a vision. Can I see the other graph, Matt? The one that I said I might use?
Sorry, Bob, I don't have it anymore.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah,
So this triangle then, as you go around from vision to mission, as you go around that area, you have to take little steps. So I may have a big vision in mind, I want to do some really big thing, but you can't do spiritual bypass. You can't jump past the goal. You've got to take each step. So you have to say, for the first step of my goal, what is my mission? What is my mission? Who's on my support team? What's my next step? In this level, then I'm expanding my identity. Doesn't have to be a huge expansion. Don't have to be the king of the world. Just an expansion of my identity so that I feel like I'm more than I was before. Focus on my vision, hold that vision, and let it pull me through my mission. Let the vision, the electromagnetic energy of that vision, pull me through my mission. And know I'm contributing. And then win. And then say, yeah, I'm loved, I'm blessed, I'm safe and free. I know that. Yeah, I feel good about myself. And you've just gained clarity, courage, and confidence. And you're a new person. So I want you to really be working on this, because this is the ultimate goal of this course. And in the 6 weeks after this course is done, we're going to go deeper and deeper into this triangle, so that you will be able to teach it. Okay? Thank you. So you have your homework. So then let's do our offering if we can, and see if we can throw a few shekels in the pot to help keep the lights on. I really appreciate any help you give us financially, very much so. And you know that everything is love, isn't it? Everything is love, including money. And divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I have, and all that I receive, in any order.
Thank you so much, Bob. And as always, everything we do here happens because of the freely given offerings that all of you share with us. And not only the programs that we do here, but also the outreach programs that we are doing, whether it be down at the downtown east side, whether it be for the Hunger Project, whether it be for our Covenant House. So everything we do is not only the inner work, but also the outer work. So we so appreciate. And Bob, we appreciate you for being such an outstanding teacher, that we can develop our spiritual path. So there's a few ways that you can do this, and so we'll put that screen up. And so always you can donate by going and visiting unityofvancouver.org. We also have links to donate in the chat right now. And as you know, we all know that the chat button is at the bottom of your screen. And also many people have signed up for Tithely, which is just an app that you can just click, and whatever you want to donate, it instantly goes there. PayPal, many different ways. We just so appreciate everything that this community is being in this moment. So thank you. And next Sunday, we hope you will all join us. And is this? Yes, Living Free. Oh my goodness, Bob. I thought we were talking about something else on Sunday, but you've surprised me. Living Free with Reverend Bob Trask, and music by Tom Pickett, Phil Bellinger, and Leora Cash and Jay Krebs here to also make a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. So thank you.
Love you all. Be well.
And Bob, you're going to stay on for a moment while we unmute everybody so they can say goodbye.
Sure.
Just a little debrief. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay, unmuting.
Bye.
Give us a
I love my.
sign.
Thank you all.
Bob
Bye, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Heart.
My love to you and Sterling.
Thank you, everybody. Blessings to all.
Bob.
Bye now.
Love, love,
Bye now.
love.
Bye.
And Janet,
There
do a
we go.
little
There's the
message with
heart.
you.
There we go. Celebrating you. Celebrating you. There we go. Celebrating you. There we go, Lori. Okay.
Thank you.
Here we are, Ryan. Oh my goodness. Oh, covering my eyes, but now I'm back to a nice big heart. There we go. Good, good, good.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that dolphin and the hummingbird.
Yeah.
I wish I could get a print.
And you guys are awesome. And we've got Kayla there with her beautiful talking about the flow. And look at that beautiful painting up there.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful.
she's very gifted.
Okay.
Kayla, can you stay on for just a minute until it's just Janet and me?
Yeah. And thank you, Donna, for coming in, even though you weren't able to be here for the whole time. We're glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And,
Yes.
Janet,
Judith.
Janet, oh, sorry, Janet, just a quick question. What is the full, like I tried to give a donation last time and I couldn't. So